Well, hey, welcome to another dish show. Socrates explains everything. My name is Socrates. I'm outside explaining something. Yay! So what's it like to finally go out and do another show? Well, feels pretty good. It's been a month sitting around the house. Still not great. Haven't used my stick to walk around, but was able to get here with an Uber. But gonna do a comedy show. It's life affirming. So if you get the chance to get out of the house, it's much better than being stuck in the house. If you're stuck in the house, I guess watch a YouTube video that's taken outside. Pretend you're riding your bike. That's what I was doing. But I'm going to go inside the Louisiana Lobster Shack. Do some comedy. It'll be fun. See you inside, assuming you're here.
Amazing. Please welcome your next comedian, Socrates.
Let's keep it going there for Emily. Second to adjust this whole situation here. Who's having a great 2022? Yeah. So yeah, I am an American. Thanks, appreciate that. One of them here doesn't help me out. Thanks, Joy.
Amazing. Please welcome your next comedian, Socrates.
Thanks so much. Keep it going there for Emily. Second to adjust this whole situation here. Who's having a great 2022? Yeah. So yeah, I am an American. Thanks, appreciate that. One of them here doesn't help me out. Thanks, Joy. Trying to help each other at least, you know. You guys must watch the news or something, is that it? Yeah. I stopped back in 2016. If you're wondering, I've been doing this thing this year called the Arc of My Arm. Back in March, I had to learn a new Dutch word. I was taught unintentionally the word aangereden, which unfortunately means to get slammed into. Used in my sentence, ik ben aangereden door een scooterklootzak. Which means I got ran into by an asshole on a scooter. And it's good. Recently, I've been able to use it to my advantage. I've been online, pretending to be a young girl, an underage girl, you know, just in case there's, you know, perverts out there. I'm not going to point anybody out in this room, but I've heard. That way, if anybody propositions me, you know, and they know I'm an underage girl, I say, hey, you know, do you want to see my gash? They say, yes, I just show them this thing. Yeah. So basically, after the scooter slammed into me, I did a little flippy, spinny thing. Like, I was halfway to an Olympic gold medal, but I did not stick the landing. No, thank you, appreciate that. I landed not like a young gymnast, I landed like an old man about to break his arm. So I got a 10 for 10 for that, and you know, I asked the guy, because basically a car drove onto the bike path, and then a scooter also drove onto the bike path, but he was looking at the car, not looking where he was going, so he came across on my side, came across a blind corner, and there he was, and I tried to explain to him, I said, you know, the car you should drive on a bike path, it's for bikes, and the scooter should be watching where you're going. But he didn't have a lot of time, so all I could say was, ah! It's funny now. Yeah, that's when the gymnastics part happened. I called up for 911 or 112 or 777. I don't know. Wasn't feeling good at the moment. And the guy asked me where I was. I looked up, you know, at the buildings because I was laying on the ground, and I don't know. WhatsApp knows where I'm at. Google knows exactly where the hell I am. Police, not a clue. Let me lie there and die. Had to hobble over, found a bus stop. They sent the ambulance, but only after I kind of complained because they said, take a taxi. They told me this. Unless you're passing out. I said, well, I'm passing out. They said, okay, we'll send an ambulance. Ambulance gets there. He offers me fentanyl. Yeah, exactly. I said no at first because I'm an American and we know that's a short trip to a heroin addiction. I'm not against it. Not yet. I mean, I just want to wait a few more years. I'm only 56. So I said no at first, but then my shoulder said, hey, take the fentanyl. And I did. It didn't do anything for me. It was a really useless drug, I thought. But I get to the hospital. She offers me morphine. She said, would you like some morphine? Yeah. But I could go for a shot. If everyone's doing one. You know, I felt a little better too. I got to tell you, it was the best part of the day so far. And when I went home, they said to me, would you like another shot of morphine? Yeah. I'd go for a second one. And unfortunately, they did what we called conservative treatment, which is basically nothing. They gave me the drugs, which was great. And they gave me a blue strap to wrap my arm like this, and they said, okay, that's it. I got some paracetamol too, and some ibuprofen, you know, but that was all they did. And they said that over time, it comes good. Have you been to a doctor here? They all say that, it comes good. It's like the first thing they teach them in medical school here. Tell them it comes good. It buys you a little time. And so it did. I thought, okay, it'll come good. I go home, you know, and I'm supposed to like keep practicing it, so I'm like in my window doing this to try to keep the shoulder from freezing up, because God forbid that happen. And I see my neighbors coming by, wave to them, and I get this really bad vibe from them. Turns out they thought I was a Nazi. I explained to them what happened. Now they think I'm just practicing to be a Nazi. Not at all helpful. You know, the Dutch are similar to Germans in a lot of ways, but the Dutch are not, you know, the Dutch are not Germans, you know, and they insist on that, you know. And of course the biggest difference between the Dutch and the Germans is the fact that the Dutch are not German. Right. That's about it, you know what I mean? Who's responsible for Anne Frank's death? It's a gray area, at least a little bit. But you've got German efficiency, which is like they would have fixed me, sent me back to work. Back show! Which has its advantages, you know? I'd be healthier. But I had Dutch efficiency put onto me, which is, they did nothing. In their defense, it's financially efficient. Wasn't helpful, but it was efficient. So I complained to the doctor. I said, you know, this isn't good. He said, Helaas appendicus. Which, if you don't know, is a Dutch saying they really like, because it rhymes. It means, oh well, peanut butter? It's not helpful. It's not useful. Worse is a medical diagnosis. But it does rhyme. I have to admit that. Helaas appendicus does at least rhyme. The Dutch love a good rhyming one. My favorite rhyming Dutch saying that makes even less sense is noken in de koken. Which you'll agree with me is a Dutch saying for some strange reason. I guess because it does in fact rhyme. It means, if you don't know, sorry for this, fucking in the kitchen. It's literally what it means. I don't know how to use it in context. I've asked. The closest I've been able to find out is, why is Dutch food so bad? Well, the note in the koken, I think. You know, like the Dutch love satay. You know satay? It's like a peanut butter sauce on chicken and things. It's like, how do you end up with satay? Well, a lot of helaas appendicus and noken in the koken. Next thing you know, you got a satay going there. But, yeah, so when I said to the guy about my arm not really working well, you know, because I pointed out the whole Nazi problem, and you know, I said, you know, it comes good. But the thing is this, Doc, it's not coming good, you know? I mean, I have erectile arm dysfunction. And the first step to coming good is getting it up. And I can't do that at this point, so. So basically, I agreed to it. Eventually, I'd have to have surgery. And unfortunately for me, my doctor was having, or his wife was having, his 4th child. So he couldn't do the surgery because of the mystery of his 4th child. And of course, he gets the medical thing off. So basically, it took him forever to do it. And finally, they did surgery on the 2nd of November. And unfortunately for me, the arc of my arm went down to my leg. And in the end, I can't walk because I took bone off my knee and marrow out of my leg. And there's a Dutch word to explain my situation. And that word is, it's sadly true. If you don't know that word, if you've ever gone out with a Dutch person, you'll hear it from time to time. It's hard to figure out what the hell just happened when you hear it. Was it good or bad? You don't really know. You miss a train. Scooter smashes into you. It also applies. And, you know, there's worse times to hear it, though. I think one of the worst times to hear that is just after sex. That was pretty good, huh? Is that me or you? Or? Still better than hearing it before sex. Just saying. Yeah. So I've come down to the conclusion that there's no devil. You know, that people always talk about the devil is trying to scare you when you're a kid. You know, like a friend of mine believes Led Zeppelin sold his soul to the devil. I don't think there's a devil because, you know, I've tried, you know. I mean, they say you sold your soul to the devil. How? I'm game. I'm open to it, you know. And this is a buyer's market now because my expectations have gone way down. You know, there was a time I would have haggled for my soul. Now I happily trade it for just a little bit of betterness. You know, very religious people here. I understand that. So I don't get religion. You know, I was born a baptized Greek Orthodox, but it's really no big deal. They put me in a bowl. Priest poured olive oil over me. Yeah, honestly, I could have been a salad. So I really don't know much about religion, because that doesn't teach you very much. But I'm an American, so we have the religious cartoons, as you'll vouch for me. So I learned the gist of it. You know, I realized that, you know, God knows everything, because God made everything, because God has a plan for everything. So why would you pray? Right? I mean, if you believe that, what are you praying? You're saying, hey, good job? Or are you nagging God? I don't get it. You know, once a week seems enough. 5 times a day. Insanity. I just don't know what you would say to God. I mean, God knows little Jimmy broke his leg. God made him clumsy as hell. Why? Apparently because of God's plan. I don't know what the plan is, but, you know, God has a plan for me. I'm not impressed with. Best I can do with is bitch on stage. Don't blame me. Blame God. Yeah. All right, you're still religious. I get it. I was seeing a psychiatrist type because it's included in my insurance. Seemed like a good reason. I had nothing to do. I like an audience. She has to laugh, or at least agree, or at least kind of. Yeah. She told me I was a nihilist. I read it in the report. I was kind of impressed. You know, I didn't know I had achieved that level of lack of caring. Clinically nihilist. You know, I appreciated it. You know, the thing is, I didn't really believe it. I appreciate that. If you don't know a nihilist, they don't believe in anything. You know what I'm talking about. It's a man owns a bar. He's heard a lot of stuff in his life. So.
But I don't believe in people anymore.
We're all thinking in my imagination, I think. As far as I know, I'm still laying out there next to that eye. But a friend of mine, he's also a nihilist, but he bought himself a dog, and he names his dog Karma. But it's a male dog. So when people find out the dog's name, invariably they'll say, "Hey, Karma's a bitch." He says, "No, man, Karma's just a dog. You're a sexist." Yeah. So I've been home for the last month, trying not to walk. So this is fun to be outside in the world, seeing people. It's a bit of hallucination, but nonetheless, I don't believe in any of it. So like I say, anybody old here? We have one father. How old are you, sir? Go ahead.
51.
51. Fuck you. I'm 56. I was hoping. So you'll find out in life, life is like an arc. How are we doing on time, by the way? I have no idea. And life's sort of an arc. I'm finding that as you get older, you can look back on the healthy parts of your fun life, and now you've got this part. This is a great part of it, by the way, thank you. And it's like when I was younger, my personal emoji was the rhinoceros, you know? A little fat, but strong, you know, powerful. Now I've gotten older, and now I feel more like the elephant. Fatter, slower. My trunk's just dangling away.
Great memory?
Not so much now, but yeah. Thanks for that. If I had a great memory, I wouldn't have gotten thrown off just then. But it's like, so to me, you know, I used to think of him as Mr. Johnson, Willie to his friends. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that it's not necessarily a name, it's also a question.
Willie.
Yeah, or won't he? Willie? Willie! But so I've been living in the Netherlands about 13 years, and I do really love this place because there's so few Dutch people and so many of us from outside of the Netherlands. This is the Republicans' worst nightmare, by the way. But I love this place. You guys are great, and the language itself is weird, obviously. You said you were from Kazakhstan, which is pretty cool. What's your word for favorite thing? Like in America, our favorite sweetie little honey pie, sugar buns, it's something sweet. If you love it, you have to make it fat and kill it. What do you call your favorite little loving thing? That's painful. That's painful. See, but that's not true though, because in Netherlands, their word for this is schatje. Now, schatje, I don't find that to be the sweetest word. You know, how do you come up with that? Every other sound was available, you know? They went with schatje. How do you put your baby to sleep? Schatje. It seems counterproductive if you ask me. I prefer the word oudje, which is a little onion. Oudje. Oud is a great sound for the Dutch because if you try to learn the sound of these languages, you can get them to try to help you, and you do ow, but you say, no, it's oud. Ow. You get a bunch of them around you all because ow. It's like having your own school of Dutch fish. But the thing that the Dutch, though, they have the words that really typify this place more than anything else. And I know it's not the one you're thinking, which is swaffelen. Which is a word the Dutch needed. Again, these are real things. This isn't me, this is them. Swaffelen means to slap your dick against something. Not only did they need this as a word, they voted this word Word of the Year, 2008. Yeah, you look it up, it's true, I wouldn't lie, I'm a comedian. I've been stabbed. And I moved here in March 2009, and they were still talking about it. Of course, the Dutchest of all word is, of course, gezellig. which is a warm, wonderful evening that we all do together, and we make it happen as a group. Assuming nobody's swaffling anybody, because it's a little less gezellig then. And like tonight, it's freezing cold out there, you know what I mean? And almost everybody in here has lost the World Cup. And you all understand the word a little bit more. But it's gezellig as hell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Woo! Give yourselves a Greek round of applause. My name is Socrates. This has been a hell of a lot of fun. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a quick break. If you're outside, get a break. See you after that. Thanks.
Yo guys, give it one more round of applause for our comedians of the first half.
Welcome to another edition of Socrates Explains Everything. My name is Socrates. I like to explain things, especially with a boat. So if you've heard or not, what's going on with Twitter? You know, Elon Musk, relatively smart engineer, good with rockets and cars, decided to jump into social media by blowing $44 billion by Twitter. And one thing I don't get is he had $1 billion walk-away clause, so he could have spent the billion and just been like, well, there's $1 billion down. But he ended up buying Twitter. So, does it matter? It's kind of odd how much overpowering value they give Twitter. It has about 250 million users, which is less than the people in the US, worldwide, mind you, compared to Facebook with 1.7 billion users. And the thing with Twitter is 90% of the traffic, in other words, almost all the traffic, 9 out of 10 tweets, come from 10% of the users. 1 out of 10. So it's mostly a platform where a few people say a lot of things and everybody else listens to them, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But when you start losing those 10%, each one takes a huge chunk of your activity with them. So Elon making himself unlikable, it's not good for anything. It doesn't help Twitter, because it'll drive away some of those 10%. It already has. It doesn't help Tesla, because who wants to be seen driving around in Elon's cars at this point? It doesn't help Elon, because, you know, the world's opinion of him has gone a bit down. And as a side note, as a stand-up comedian, when I see people like Elon Musk, you know, Tim Cook, Tim Apple, when I see these guys on stage, they're so bad at it. You know, Elon, you've got literally hundreds of billions of dollars. Get a stage coach, get a comic to tell you and show you how to perform on stage. You know, Zelensky, an incredible leader, an amazing president for a country in a horrific time. He was a performer. You know, he was on stage. You know, he learned how to communicate with people from the stage. And that's the sad thing about democracy, is it's so easy for people like Trump, who's a great performer. His shtick was pretty good. Performance and governing, they're not necessarily the same thing. You know, Ukraine got really lucky with Zelensky, but we did not get as lucky with Twitter and Elon. So he made a very unscientific poll to see if he should keep leading it, and more than 50%, 57% of the responders said, no, you shouldn't lead Twitter anymore. So hopefully he'll step down as the CEO like he said he would and go back to trying to make starships and Teslas. And that'll be better for everybody. But Twitter has an outsized influence. And the few people that are actually tweeting on Twitter have a super outsized influence. So you should never listen to a minority of the minority. They're never really speaking for the majority because they can't. Anyway, we got back outside. So that's a tweet right there. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, 2023. Oh, hey. Welcome to another edition of Socrates Explains Everything. My name is Socrates. I still like explaining things. So, what do you miss about the long road that's called life? Well, I'm about to have that surgery finally. I'm going to miss being out here on the road, riding my bike. It's just the beautiful views of the Netherlands. I personally love this place. I think there's something really pretty about it. Right now, I'm right in the middle of a long road. 8 months later, they're finally going to do something, so maybe I could point up there. And, I don't know. Wish me luck. Don't wish me luck. Other people have it worse, but you only get stuck being yourself. So, 2 days from now, surgery time, and hopefully I'll see you on stage. And if you need an MC, give me a yell. I like healing on stage. You guys are great. Thanks for the audiences. You make the long road fast. Appreciate everything and all the good people that have been nice. See you hopefully on the other side of this fun little trip. 2022. Years. Oh hey. Welcome to another edition. Socrates Explains Everything. My name is still Socrates and I still like explaining things. So recently the whole Russian-Ukrainian war is coming towards a potential end. And the question comes up to, how long will it take for the Ukrainian people to forgive the Russian people for what they've done to them? Well, if history is prologue, we can look at this building across the street here. During World War II, after Piraeus blew up with that ship, my family's house got destroyed, and they moved into the top floor of this house. The entire family lived up there with a bunch of chickens, and directly across the street, in this destroyed building, that used to be a Gestapo headquarters, and my little teenage young father used to hear them torture people across the street. Very pleasant. Well, the truth is, we're not super downtown Athens, but we're well within the city, and 70 years later, this building is still empty. As people don't forget, and they don't forgive, it takes a really, really long time if you've been horrible enough. Horrible as the Nazis and the Russians. That empty building is testament. It's just a destroyed place now. Street plug in it. They're using it to park cars in the back. Easily could be anything here. It's in the middle of Athens. So yeah. My poor dad lived across the street. He sure as hell hasn't forgotten. It doesn't look like the people of Greece have forgotten either. So, Slav Ukraine. Don't be like America and Russia and England and anyone who's destroyed another person's country. Be like the Greeks. Who haven't done it for a long time.